Consider a scenario where a contractor is working on a large infrastructure project and discovers an underground water pipe that isn't shown on the site drawings. The contractor needs to notify the project engineer to discuss how to proceed without damaging the pipe and possibly causing delays. According to subclause 1.3, the contractor must send this notification in writing, either through a letter, an email, or a fax, directly to the address previously specified by the engineer in the contract documents. The notification must clearly describe the issue and perhaps suggest a meeting or a call to discuss the matter further. This formal communication ensures that there is an official record of the discovery and the contractor's prompt initiative to address the issue, which could be important for resolving any disputes or claims later.
Subclause 1.3 sets out the formal requirements for communication between the employer, contractor, and engineer throughout the duration of the project. This clause plays a critical role in maintaining a clarity and transparency in contractual dealings, as it stipulates that all notices, instructions, claims, and other formal communications must be made in writing. This ensures that there is a clear and verifiable record of all key correspondence, minimizing the potential for disputes arising from verbal instructions or undocumented agreements. Additionally, this clause requires both parties to provide designated addresses for the delivery of all communications, and any changes to these addresses must be formally communicated in writing. It also defines the concept of deemed receipt, where a notice is considered received once delivered to the specified address or transmitted electronically within working hours. In multilingual projects, subclause 1.3 may also stipulate the governing language for all formal communications, ensuring consistency and mutual understanding across all parties involved in the contract. Subclause 1.3. Communication established the formal rules and expectations for how contractual information must be exchanged between the parties. It requires that all communications, notices, certificates, and instruction under the contract be in writing and delivered to the designated address of the receiving party. This clause ensures that communications are both verifiable and traceable, minimizing the risk of disputes caused by informal, verbal, or undocumented exchanges. The clause also emphasizes that written communication can be delivered through various acceptable means, such as hand delivery, registered post, courier, fax, or other forms agreed upon by the parties, including electronic communication, were accepted. However, the essence of this clause is to ensure that communication reaches the intended party reliably and within a time frame that allows proper action to be taken. The contract may allow or disallow electronic means depending on the nature and the criticality of the communication. A key implication of clause 1.3 is the enforcement of clear procedural discipline in the administration of the contract. For example, notices for claims under clause 20 must comply with this communication requirement or they risk being deemed invalid. Similarly, variations, approvals, and engineers' instructions must also follow this formal route to be binding. This maintains legal and contractual certainty throughout the project. In practice, this clause reinforces good governance and contract management by ensuring that communication is not left to chance or informal channels. It also supports the record keeping and audit trail essential in resolving claims, evaluating performance, and ensuring accountability. Parties are advised to document all key communications and ensure acknowledgement of receipt, especially for notice related to time-sensitive matters like delays, extension of time, or payment issues. Another example of this clause is next.
Imagine you have a big school project where you need to work with your classmates to build a model of a solar system. To make sure everyone knows what they need to do and when they need to do it, you decide to write notes to each other. In these notes, you tell your friends what parts of the project they're responsible for, like who will make the earth or who paints the sun. In big building projects, adults do something similar using rules from a book called FIDIC, which is like the rule book for building big things like bridges or buildings. One important rule, called subclause 1.3, says that when people working on the project talk to each other through letters or emails, they must follow certain rules. They have to be clear, they must write to the right person, and they need to use the right addresses so that no message is lost. This helps everyone understand what they need to do and makes sure the building goes smoothly, just like your school project.
The importance of subclause 1.3 is important based on the following. 1. Clarity and legality. It provides a clear framework that specifies how communication must be handled, ensuring that all parties have a common understanding of the procedures to follow. This reduces misunderstandings and disputes. 2. Record keeping. By requiring written communications, the clause helps in maintaining a formal record of all key communications related to the project. This can be invaluable in case of legal reviews or disputes. 3. Efficiency and responsiveness. Setting standard procedures for communication ensures that messages are not only sent but are also received and acknowledged in a timely manner, thereby aiding in the swift resolution of issues and continuity of project timelines. 4. Adaptability to modern methods. Including provisions for electronic communications reflects the adaptation to modern business practices, allowing for faster and more efficient project management. In conclusion, subclause 1.3 is foundational for managing communications effectively in any major construction project. It ensures that all parties remain well informed and aligned, which is crucial for the successful completion of complex projects.